after the lockdown, we have some updates on projects that are returning into production, and Val Kilmer's a douche. Well, maybe. No, he's a douche. Welcome to the newest episode of SDW.
Super Dario World!
It's a me,
Dario!
Woohoo! Let's go!
Alright, so before I get into it, any comments, questions, or suggestions, you can find me at Dario the Show on Instagram or at SuperDario_World. Also, follow me on Facebook, Super Dario World. I update everything there. So, before I get into the whole productions returning thing, let me just get some quick Star Wars news out of the way. The Mandalorian Season 2 sounds better every single day, because now it's confirmed. Well, I'm sorry, it's not confirmed. It's reported that the character Sabine Wren will be making an appearance in The Mandalorian Season 2. Sabine Wren, I actually explained it. If you listen to the episodes where I break down the Mandalorian episodes, I do a segment called The Good, the Bad, and the Mandalorian. Basically, the good and the bad are pretty easy, so I explain the things that were good, things that were bad. The Mandalorian, I give you some fun facts about the show. So in The Mandalorian, I gave you some fun facts about Sabine Wren, because she's actually a pretty relevant Mandalorian. You can go back to check that out, but basically, I'm excited for her to come back, and if this gives us a little bit of background of what the fuck happened on Mandalore, great. I'm all in. I really need this. Also, it has been confirmed, now this is the one that's been confirmed, that Temuera Morrison, and I'm pretty sure that's not how you say his name, Temuera Morrison, I believe that's it, will be returning to Star Wars in The Mandalorian. Now, for those of you who don't know who that is, he's basically Jango Fett, Boba Fett, and every single clone in the Clone Wars. That's the actor who plays. He's a New Zealand actor, and he plays Boba Fett, Jango Fett, and every single one of the clones. So he will be making an appearance in Star Wars The Mandalorian, and supposedly the character that he will be playing is Boba Fett, which makes perfect sense because if you guys remember, Boba Fett is a clone of Jango Fett, and he played Jango Fett, so there you go. Well, actually, I guess I shouldn't have said that he played Boba Fett because he hasn't, but he probably will now. Anyway, the point is, that also sounds fun because it means that Boba Fett will finally be making an appearance and we'll finally know what the fuck happened in the Sarlacc pit. So, more Mandalorians showing up in The Mandalorian is great. Good news. It's exciting. And the last bit of Star Wars news that I want to get out of the way is that EA, the video game developer, has confirmed that Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, which is a video game, will be the first game in a new franchise. So we will be getting more of the stories of the main character. Let me just read you the thing here. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order is one of the breakout titles of the last several years. More than 10 million unique players have joined in the game since launch, a rare achievement for a first title in an entirely new franchise. Okay, it's not a first title, it's fucking Star Wars, all right? It's not a new franchise, it's Star Wars. You could I don't know, like, grab a can of worms and slap Star Wars in front of it and you'd sell a million. Doesn't matter. Anyway, it's a meticulously well-crafted game, and it continues to give fans deeply engaging and original Star Wars experience. That I agree with. The story of Cal is pretty interesting. I'll be honest, I still haven't finished it yet because I kind of got stuck playing The Witcher again. Well, The Witcher 3. But the game's fun. It's not easy. It's an interesting story. It's well-acted. It's a different experience. It's a different... you get to see a different side of Star Wars. It's great. I'm actually pretty happy that this is going to be an ongoing thing. I just hope that the rest of the games are as good as the first one. Like, the big knock that I hear from the first game is that it's too short. So, we'll see. Honestly, this is good. This is good news. This is all good Star Wars news, and it continues on with the theory that the best parts of Star Wars are outside of the movies. Which, I mean, it's a great universe to explore. Explore it. Anyway, so let's move on to kind of some confusing news. The New Mutants is cursed. The movie The New Mutants is cursed. If you remember, earlier on in this year, at the beginning of the year, I make two lists. One, well, I guess I make one list and I review a list from the previous year. Every year I make a list of the best upcoming geek movies. And this year, I specifically mentioned that The New Mutants is going to be one of the worst movies of the year, because it's been delayed forever. It was supposed to come out, like the last date it was supposed to come out, I believe was April 4th or something, the beginning of April. Before that, it was somewhere in I believe it was October 2019. Before that, it was May 2019. Before that, it was 2018. Before that, was 2017. This movie has been delayed time after time after time after time. And supposedly, they're saying that it might get a theatrical release, but the fact that it hasn't even gotten a digital release. You know, all the movies that got delayed in April and in March got early digital releases. That's what they did. That was the smart thing, I guess. But for some reason, this one, Disney doesn't even want to put it on Disney Plus yet. This is embarrassing. So, according to the Hollywood Reporter, the New Mutants is still planned for a theatrical release. We just don't know when, why, where, or nothing. We know absolutely nothing. Only thing we know is that this movie just keeps getting delayed, and it's never a good sign when a movie's been delayed that much. I have lost all hope in it, and honestly, I just want to be on Disney Plus so I can watch it for free. That's what I'm hoping for at this point. But we don't know. It's supposedly it's still targeted for 2020, but we'll see. Right now the whole theatrical calendar is a mess. We'll see how that goes. Anyway, moving on. Okay, there's two big movie titles. Well, one's a movie title, one's a TV show that are supposedly resuming production soon in New Zealand. Now, for those of you who don't know, New Zealand has been locking things down pretty tightly due to the lockdown, and supposedly things have been going pretty well down there. It's the advantage of having a small population and living in a tiny island and being able to control everything a little bit better. Also, they had the advantage of it being summer, of having like warmer weather down there while we were having colder weather, and supposedly the sunlight kills this thing. So the point is, things had been going good in Australia, but they locked things down hard. This means that two major franchises got delayed. The first one being, the easy one to know is the Lord of the Rings TV show. The Amazon TV show, the series, got delayed because, for those of you who don't know, the Lord of the Rings movies and the Hobbit movies were shot in New Zealand, so the TV show was also planned to be shot in New Zealand. Now, we know very, very little about this show, and honestly, I don't hate it. It's exciting. I'm waiting for us to hear more. The only thing we know is that I'll just read it for you. The highly anticipated Lord of the Rings TV series will be set in the Second Age that places it approximately 3,000 years of history between the series and the beginning of the Lord of the Rings. And so, honestly, there's a lot there. I will probably do a special podcast when it gets closer to it, just to talk about the Second Age and stuff like that, or the ages of Middle Earth in general, because it's a super interesting topic. I may get a friend of mine to join me because he knows that we had a pretty fun conversation about that. But supposedly, the New Zealand Film Commission has been committed to returning all the ongoing projects, and so it is supposedly safe. And it's some TV productions are safely already underway, which means that the Lord of the Rings TV show is still on track to hit its 2021 debut. On the other hand, the Avatar sequels, and I don't mean the Last Airbender Avatars, I mean the James Cameron Avatars, the Pandora and the Blue People, those were also supposed to be shooting in New Zealand. Those got delayed, and it sounds like the release date, which was supposed to be December 2020, has been pushed to December 2021. Which, honestly, I think fucks up the whole Disney calendar, because if you guys remember, there was supposed to be like a Star Wars movie one year, and then it was going to be Avatar, and then I think another Star Wars project, or was it a Marvel project, and then Avatar. So it's supposed to be like 1 year. Now I don't know what that's going to do to everything, but it's been delayed, and director James Cameron talked about it a little, and it sounds like they have not returned to shooting quite yet. I'll just read you his comments here. It's putting a major crimp in our stride here. I want to get back to work on Avatar, which right now we're not allowed to do under state emergency laws or rules. So it's all on hold right now. We were about to shoot down New Zealand, so that got pushed. We were trying to get back as quickly as we can. So what the news is saying is that they should be coming back to production soon, but what Cameron's saying is that they're still waiting. I'm assuming that if the New Zealand Film Commission says it's okay, eventually they will get back on it pretty soon, because this is a major franchise. I heard, like, the last rumor I heard is that they're expecting this movie to top $3 billion. We'll see. I don't know. There's curiosity left over from the first one, but I don't know if there's as much excitement for it. But like I said, we'll see. Also, just, to top it off, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier will be resuming their productions in Prague. I don't know if anybody cares about that. we don't know much about yet, but supposedly everything will stay on schedule for their August 2020 debut. Now, Val Kilmer. Why do I say Val Kilmer is a douche? Other than because, it's been reported several times that he's kind of a douche, and if you see his characters, he plays douches. But I don't think it's fair to just call him a douche for no reason. I brought receipts. So, in a recent interview, he has opened up about why he quit the Batman. Now, Val Kilmer, I think he's a pretty good actor. I really like him in Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, Tombstone, Top Gun, and I didn't hate him as Batman. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I did not hate him as Bruce Wayne. I thought he did fine. It was an okay, mediocre job. He wasn't the worst Batman. The worst Batman is by far George Clooney, but he wasn't quite as good as some of the other ones. Let's say, for example, Michael Keaton or Kristen Bale or even Ben Affleck. But he was okay. He was okay. The others were good. Clooney was bad. And so it was kind of surprising why he only donned the cape once, right? It was weird that he only did it for one movie, particularly because generally actors get paid more when they do sequels. So if you did Batman once, the second time you do Batman, they'll pay you more money. That seems like a pretty good deal to do anything. I would do that in a heartbeat, especially if you get to play Batman. Anyway, so in an interview, he was talking about why he decided not to go back, and honestly, it's kind of bonkers. So the reason on record, let's call it on record, it's just because director Joel Schumacher said it, is because Kilmer wanted to play a role in the movie The Island of Dr. Moreau with Marlon Brando. I know, I've never heard of that movie either, and so that's why he dropped out of Batman and Robin. But it's been revealed in an interview that there's actually a bigger reason why he wasn't, first off, really impressed with the role, and it's because of Warren Buffett. So, for those of you who don't know, Warren Buffett is a billionaire, and he visited the set of Batman Forever with his grandkids. And so, I'll just read this verbatim. He described how the Buffetts visited one day while he remained in the Batsuit after hearing that there were special guests stopping by the set. But after seeing the kids show no interest in talking to him and only wanting to play with the props and ride the Batmobile, he realized there wasn't anything special about the character and that anyone could take on that role. Kilmer describes how he relished playing characters with some depth, such as Doc Holliday in Tombstone, and that he felt if he couldn't do what he wanted to have fun playing his characters, even mentioning a desire to have been on Saturday Night Live, but that he had a moment of realization on the set of Batman Forever in which the character was neither unique nor entertaining for him to play. So, what the fuck is wrong with you, Val Kilmer? Seriously, little kids did not pay attention to me while I was wearing my costume. How narcissistic is this son of a bitch? Seriously, how fucking egocentric can you be? Little kids did not pay attention to me, so I don't want to play Batman anymore. Nah, those kids were mean to me. Seriously? Is this... All right, I understand this logic from a child, but this is a grown-ass fucking man. This was the logic of a grown-ass man who gave up millions of dollars and a major film franchise. What the fuck is wrong with you? Now, if he would have... Honestly, I would have respected Val Kilmer a lot more if he would have said, well, I read the script for Batman and Robin, and it was shit, so I didn't want to do it. That would have made perfect sense. Here, because kids did not want to pay attention to you. Here's the... Let me explain something to Val Kilmer here. Kids are shy, all right? Kids are kind of shy. Second thing he needs to understand, Batman is fucking scary, all right? He's supposed to be scary. He's supposed to be scary to fucking criminals. How do you think kids are going to react to Batman? You don't see Batman showing up at little kids' parties. It kind of freaks them out. When they're a little bit older, maybe, and if they're big fans of Batman, but usually you see fucking Spider-Man or Iron Man or something like that. Somebody who's colorful, not the Dark fucking Knight, okay? Kids love Batman, but if they would see a giant dude in a bat suit, it would freak them the fuck out. I love Batman. Batman is my favorite superhero. If I recall being if you give me a Batman toy, I'll play with him. I'll be super happy. But if I saw a dude in a fucking Batman suit looking at me, I would freak the fuck out. All right, it's not somebody you just run up and hug. All right, it's somebody you look with respect from a distance. What the fuck is wrong with you, dude? What the fuck is wrong with you? And by the way, that it's a character that doesn't have any depth fuck you. Bruce Wayne has an incredible amount of depth, all right? He's a billionaire who chooses to go out and kick people's asses, criminals' asses, all right? Billionaires could do so much better for the community from their offices. He chooses to go out there and be a vigilante. He chooses to, and this is, we're just talking about petty criminals. The dude deals with fucking gods. The dude is walks shoulder to shoulder with fucking Superman. Superman pays attention to him. He follows his lead. It is an incredibly, incredibly complex and interesting character that has so many levels. Also, the fucking distortion in the Bat family is insane. There's so much you have to play with there. So much. The fact that you couldn't get it, or that you didn't even take the time to actually explore the source material, means that you're the idiot. The fact that your feelings were hurt because little kids wanted to play with the Batmobile more means that you're the fucking asshole here. So, All right, I feel like that's the best argument I can do. Just I call that the Odin reply. You're an old man and a fool. Anyway, it pisses me off, man. How fucking stupid can you be? And his career just kind of like plummeted from there. Because has anybody heard anything else from Val Kilmer ever? No. This is what you get. You get what you deserve. Oh man, it's brutal. It's brutal. But that's what happens to actors, man. Sometimes their heads are too big for the bat mask. Anyway, that's it for today. Any comments, questions, suggestions, you can find me at Dario the Show on Instagram or at SuperDarioPeriodWorld. I kept this one short. I got a bunch of editing to do because I've been doing the interviews with the police detectives that I told you about. It's going great. We did the first episode. It's over an hour. I guess I have to cut that into two, and we don't even get into the story. It's basically an hour-long history lesson about the gangs in California, and it's fascinating if you care about gangs in California or gangs in general or the criminal underworld. It's gnarly. I'm very excited to release this. Hopefully we will get more of these done soon, but it's a long story. We'll see. Anyway, as always, thank you for listening, and I'll see you again next time.